Hello and welcome to the Green Machine. We're live and we're sexy. I'm David, your host, joined as always by Nick and Martin on this clammy day here in London. Actually, you're very lucky that I'm not doing this in my pants and nothing else. But the two lads did insist that I had to wear a t-shirt of some sort, so very disappointing. Nick, welcome back. I suppose you're 2 weeks. This is your first time in 3 weeks that you're back. Yeah. You're on.
I took my annual leave from the podcast. It was glorious. I did miss you though. Did you miss me, lads?
Yeah, we did miss you, Nick.
Good.
We missed you.
Good. Very narcissistic there.
Yeah.
I did miss you though. No, I did miss you. It was weird. Weird not being on with you for so long.
What, sunning yourself?
Sunning myself, yeah, in lovely Spain. So it was good. But no, I missed you. I missed it. But great listening to you and not being on for once. It was lovely.
Thank you so much. Well, we have him anyway. The social compass of the Green Machine. He is back, so we'll be on a best behavior. As you can see, anyway, if you don't want to be in your best behavior, you can get involved. Just leave a comment. Say what you want to say. Talk about what you want to talk about. We don't care. Or if you want to stick your oar in, as you say, about anything we talk about here tonight. Absolutely, we'll get through all the comments there. Or you just want to listen to my dulcet tones, that is absolutely okay as well. Lads, should we just get into it? Should we get into our boys in green? When he's laughing, I'm probably thinking about something we were talking about off topic before we came on. Oh, Christ, it's going to be a long show.
This is a fan of yours, Dave, isn't it?
I've lots of fans, Nicholas, groupies. Anyway, right, let's get into it. Our boys in green. Enough of this lack of professionalism. So, literally just announced today, lads, the under-21s game has been confirmed. The playoff, the home leg anyway, is going to be on the 23rd of September. That's a Friday. That's the day before the Scotland game. Tickets go on sale on the 18th of August, and it will be at Tallaght Stadium. Martin, you are our tickets guru / tout. Will it be a part of the? Somebody asked a question on the page there. Will it be a part of our season ticket thingy?
It is. Yeah, this is part of the season ticket package. So yeah, 18th of August when the FAI have said that they are going to go on general sale. I would expect anyone who's a season ticket to be sent a link earlier than that. To be honest, they're going to try and move these tickets and get it all organised quite quickly. So, yeah, look out for you. If you're a season ticket holder and you've got an account, obviously you should get a link sent by the FAI. And I'd say act quickly. The only thing that's going to affect the attendance to this one is obviously some people will have travelled or be travelling to Glasgow for the game on the Saturday. So it's a shame for the under-21s, but surely there's going to be enough people still in Ireland who are going to get themselves to Tallaght to support the under-21 team, and hopefully they do really well and get off to a good start in this two-leg playoff.
Yeah, this could be the first time that the Republic of Ireland under-21s qualify for the European Championship. So get out there, get a ticket, and then hopefully we do the business over in Israel. Anything to add to that, Nick?
No, I think it's good. It's on a Friday. I know we're playing Scotland, and I mean, I'm planning on
you because you won't be going playing the match.
Well, I'm planning on going. I'm actually going to fly into Edinburgh and do a night in Edinburgh, and then go down to Glasgow the next day. But no, it's good. It's on a Friday because they're usually on a Tuesday, aren't they? And it's very hard to get people down, especially kids, because they're usually 4 p.m. kickoffs, aren't they? So on a Friday, it might just entice a few more people to go down after work or go down during the summer.
Oh, the poor little kiddie wings. Those entitled little bastards.
Actually, I'm thinking there that they'll all be back to school, won't they? So
yeah. I mean, but to be fair, we had to do it back in the day. Watch the matches during the 90s. 3 p.m. We didn't have floodlights back in our day, Nick. Get them out. Get them up there. Fucking snowflakes. Right. So let's move on, lads. Let's have a little chat about some of the transfers. We're going to go through the confirmed transfers, a couple of loans in there as well. One particular loan we're going to be talking about, a notorious figure in Irish football. Guess who? But a very positive move anyway. Mr. Nathan Collins, there he is there, just needs a cape on him there, lads, doesn't he? Handsome son of a bitch. Look at him there. He has become Ireland's most expensive player, 23.6 million pounds.
Euro.
So that's 20.3 million pounds.
Yeah, about that.
There you go. Yeah, so see how inclusive we are. We get both the nominations in there. So I think that's a great move. I think sorry to our two Wolves fans that listen. I think it's a stepping stone. Really, he's going to be a tippy top player. His mindset seems to be excellent. But I think it's a great move for him.
Yeah. Oh no, it's excellent. And as you said, Dave, he's going to end up at a really top club if he keeps working hard. And even you hear him and Bazunu are very similar, aren't they? The narrative and Parrott as well. I think the narrative out of them is that they're trying to work hard. They're trying to stay on a good track. Wolves are a good side. They are a decent side. I think they'll play the kind of ball that he likes. Wasn't there a few rumors that he turned down a top? It used to be. Do you remember when it was the top 4 lads, but a top 6 team he's turned down. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was United, Martin.
I was going to say top 7 again.
Always top 6. Yeah.
But it shows like he's not going for the profile. He's going for the stepping stone. Like Wolves are a decent side, and he's going to be playing Premier League football. Most importantly, we had a lot of Burnley fans kind of slagging us off, saying because I put something up on Twitter saying, Luke McNally, because he's gone to Burnley, that's going to pave the way for Collins to go, and it was always the way, wasn't it? They were like, oh no, he's staying. Why would he leave Burnley and all this kind of thing? But no, it's an excellent move. Wolves are a decent team, and I think he'll do really, really well there.
Yeah, no, absolutely delighted for the lad. I mean, yeah, hopefully it's a stepping stone. No offense, Wolves, but come on. We want to play somewhere better than Wolves in a few years' time.
Good place to be, though. Good place to be, I think.
Very good place to be. Like I think it'll do really, really well there. Moving on to a loan move that's happened. Oh, Jesus. So there he is, Aaron Connolly. He has burnt all his bridges in England, so he is now in how do you say it?
Venezia.
Venezia. Christ, this heat. I'm blaming the heat for my usual poor pronunciation this week. There he is. He's gone to Venezia, and they are a Serie B team. Now, there's been a lot of talk about this, right? Now, we are an Irish football podcast, and the number 1 independent Irish football podcast. Just saying. Number 3, according to Meanwhile in Ireland. Just saying as well. And we do try to support players where we can, and we try to get behind them if a player's having a tough time with personal difficulty, that sort of stuff. But this guy, he's divided a lot of opinion amongst the Irish fans. A lot of off-field antics. I won't repeat them on here, but you could just type his name in, look at some of the Brighton fanzines. They seem to be delighted to get rid of him for another year, quite frankly. And then you got some other places saying that we have to support this guy no matter what because he's an Irish player. Is that ring true? Should it just be support where support is warranted? If some, what do you lads? Martin, what do you make of it? The whole Aaron Connolly thing.
I think it's a bit of a sad state of affairs, really. I think it's not really kicked on for him after the high-profile goals against Tottenham that time, where we then really expected so much of him. I think he was the one who was in the prime position out of our young forward players to really make his mark on the squad, and he had the opportunity. And I think of that miss when he went through the time and then he blazed it wide. It could have been also different for him. I do have to question though his attitude and commitment. When you're seeing social media posts and he's more occupied with that than he is being bothered in the Ireland squad. I've seen him around the team hotel as well. He doesn't just strike me as kind of one of the lads, one of the team. That's a very that's just very judgmental of me. But I can see that. I can see the kind of bonded around the team hotel when I see the players sometimes. He just seems to kind of be not even looking like the part of a footballer, like all hooded up, look like a moody kind of wannabe gangster kind of thing, in my opinion. Now, I just don't get that. It just seemed quite elusive and outside of the group in a way.
He seems quite aloof, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's it, aloof. That's the kind of word I was looking for. He has struggled. These loan moves have not worked out for him. This one, though, is moving to they're more famous, this team, for their iconic kits, aren't they? To be honest,
he will go to a very Instagrammable club.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and all the kits as well are. And I like talking about kits, even though I'm blocked by our own kit supplier.
Oh, not again! Jesus, let it go.
But I love the Benicio kits, like, they're very Irish related as well. He looks the part there as well. He looks like a perfect model for the merchandise stuff he's got there. But I can't see it working, to be honest. I do want it to work, and I do get this. I think everyone now is getting a bit giddy of, we want all these Irish players to do well. Like, we're talking about Nathan Collins. We want him to do well, but he seems to have a perfect attitude. Nick alluded to it earlier. Parrott's the same. Obafemi's turned it around, hasn't he? Yeah. We like our characters who are grounded and going to work hard. This guy seems to be going off the Stephen Ireland track for me. He's not doing it on the pitch anymore. He's more famous for being an Instagram or social media.
I think he's worse.
Yeah.
Is it the case though that he has burnt his bridges in England? That's why he was at Chris Wilder. He was at Chris Wilder in Middlesbrough, very respected coach, authoritarian sort of coach as well. No nonsense at Middlesbrough, and didn't do the business there. No one else wants him. He's a young, talented lad. Everyone knows the talent he's got, but nobody went for him. And they're playing Serie B. We're talking, Nick. We're talking League One here, really, aren't we? League One.
Yeah, like, and here's the thing with Serie A. I mean, with the Italian league and stuff, and I mean, a lot of people are getting very excited about Fezio Bozelli and James Amawaka going to Udinese, but Udinese were kind of, I think they were at the bottom half of the table last season. Like, it's still a good move. I mean, League of Ireland to Serie A, and I suppose League One really effectively, isn't it, to Serie A?
Serie B.
No, for the Udinese lads,
Oh, sorry,
yeah. But then, like, you've Liam Kerrigan, who's after going to Como, and I mean, I think they were nearly relegated from Serie B, and now with Connolly, Venezia were just relegated. So it's difficult to know. I mean, I think they have a lot of Americans, and they had Ethan Ampadu, the Welsh lad, play for them last year, and they had I think they have a Scottish guy who used to play for Chelsea. I can't remember his name; it escapes me now, but they have had a lot of guys come over from the Premier League playing there. Now, as I said, it's all speculation, isn't it? But I mean, social media stuff and all that kind of alludes to it. His lifestyle, the Italian way of looking after yourself as a footballer, is very, very different to Britain, to British football. So, is it going to be a good thing that he's a bit further away from the UK? He's away from Brighton, which is a party city, really, isn't it? And is he going to be looking after his diet more? Is he going to be drinking less? Is he going to be, well, no, I don't know if he drinks or not, but look, we've seen bits and pieces, haven't we? But is that lifestyle going to be good for him as a player? I don't know. Is it going to be a thing that his buddies are coming over to visit him in Venice every couple of weeks? I don't know. So he needs to knuckle down. Serie B is not as good as the Championship, so I think people have to realize that as well. Like, I mean, it's all there. The Championship is one of the best leagues in Europe. So the fact that no one was going to take a chance on him, because there was no rumors at all about Championship teams, was there? It's a strange one. And as I said, the fact that he's going to one of the most social media driven kind of clubs marketing wise in the world, I think it's a perfect fit in that way. But a good footballing move, I don't know. I think he'll score a lot of goals there, but we have to put into context the level it is as well.
We'll read some of the comments there that come through for the purposes of the audio version of this podcast, which will be on the website later on tonight. I'll probably just put a line under this one. I don't think it'll work out. I hope it does. I really hope it does. I don't think it will. I don't think his attitude's right. He's very aloof. My new word of the week. I just think he's burnt his bridges in England. That's why no one went in for him. Obafemi had his own issues, but he obviously showed a desire and a willingness to turn it around. And my God, he's turned it around. This guy, I think we're going to be reading. I don't want him to fail. And there's a comment there. I'm going to read out in a second. I don't want him to fail. I really don't. I hope he proves us all wrong and he comes out and he's playing for Ireland and he's spanning the goals. But I just can't see it happen. I just think his attitude stinks. And we'll be reading about him. I think there'll be an article about him in about 10 years' time about Aaron Connolly, the guy who threw it away, and he'd be talking about how he regrets it and all this stuff. You know how it normally ends.
Yeah. Can I just say quickly, Dave, and you put it really well. We might criticize these lads, but we want them to prove us wrong. We want them to do well, and we love. Like, I mean, we might say, "Oh, this guy's rubbish" or "This guy's whatever," but like at the end of the day, we'd be delighted if they're playing well for Ireland and they're playing well for their clubs. It's great to be proven wrong sometimes, but it's very hard to see it happening for him.
Absolutely, 100%. Just go through some of the comments here. Graham Farrell, Aaron Connolly, he's meant to be a massive arsehole, so I've heard. I've never met the lad, but fair Fair enough. Val Maguire, I don't think it will work out for Aaron Connolly. I don't think either, Val. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well as well, Graham, by the way. Kieran Boyle, the man, the music. Have said it for years. Much better to see young players going to the continent, Italy, etc. Follow the Lee Brady path. Also, bonus, much less Umbro in Syria. Hashtag away to chase Umbro. Hashtag giddy up. Adidas. Couldn't. I'm sorry for wearing Umbro this week, Kieran. I do apologize. Hope you're enjoying those stickers. Graham Farrell, 2 Irish lads are at AC Milan and one is at Inter as well. The lad at Inter, Kevin Zeff, is supposed to be flying. He is banging in the goals for the underage team there. Irish football vlog, how's it going? Still only 22 time from yet, running out of time, but I get the impression some Irish fans would rather he failed again and be right rather than Connolly coming good and then being wrong. There is credence to that. Same with the manager. Same with Stephen Kenny. That is just...
Some people do want him to... as I said, like we'd love to be proven wrong, but some people do want him to fail. Some people would be delighted to see him fail, and I don't think the public is warm to Aaron Connolly. So I think seeing him fall flat in his face will give people a lot of pleasure. Not us. I don't think we would. I think he's very talented. I think he's very technically good.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see him do well, but a lot of people would be delighted if it didn't work out for him.
If he does really well, I'll be the first. I'll be on it, and we'll have a whole episode towards Aaron Connolly and how wrong we were. I wouldn't mind doing that. A whole 5 minutes to that. And then we got Graham Farrell. Think you're spot on there, Dave. He's decent, but got a crap attitude. See, Graham, this is why I wear these.
I would just passes. I'll just come in on a couple of things on this still, because I know we've spoken a lot about Aaron Connolly. I mean, none of us know him. We don't know really what he's going through or what he's done. And I think that's one of the arguments that sometimes gets put on Twitter, and people going, oh, you want him to fail? People just want to be able to say that. Oh, and you're judging him. You don't even know him and stuff. And we don't, which is right. We don't. But we are seeing enough of it. Like, if he's being moved on by club to club. And also, I would go with Stephen Kenny's judgment on him. Stephen Kenny gave him a lot of chances. And then all of a sudden, he's not even in the squad anymore, and to say because he has moved on and got loan moves, and he's focusing his attention on getting fit for them, very much like Obafemi did. So it's not the end for him. He could come back in, but he's got to knuckle down like Obafemi did. I mean, I'll be like we're all saying how if we're wrong here, we're quite happy to come back and say it. Obafemi a while ago, I'll be honest on this, I was saying I thought he was too big and too bulky and hadn't developed too much as a footballer from making his debut that time. And now he's proved me wrong, and he is doing it. We want these players to do well. Like, we've got to emphasize that. But again, I think he has to show the right attitude. And if you're looking at social media, which is only one of the ways we have an insight into these players' lives, all these stories about them, it doesn't read very well about him. I'm just being honest on that.
That's true. And just to finalize, we'll move on. I think that Martin, great point there. That speaks volumes. Stephen Kenny, who is very supportive, especially the younger lads, hasn't brought him in for the last few squads. I think that speaks volumes. When Shane Duffy was going through a terrible time at Celtic, and he was actually a bit of a liability on the pitch for us. England, for example, the 3-0, he's having a really terrible time, and he stuck with him. He said, he owes Ireland nothing, is what he said about Shane Duffy, and he kept him around because he knew what a great guy he was to have in the dressing room, where it just seems at the moment, I'm not saying this means Aaron Connolly's a bad guy, but it seems at the moment that his presence would be toxic. That's not saying he's a bad guy, but it's just that, dressing room is sacred and you want to keep a happy locker room. So anyway, lads, we'll move it. I hope we'll be keeping an eye on him anyway over there. But yeah, we really hope that it does work out for the lad. It'd be great, but who knows? Another move here. Now this one, it's another talking point for me. Josh Cullen, Nick, we touched on this. It hadn't been finalized when we were chatting about this last week. I don't think it's a great move personally. I know Martin thinks it's a great move ever. But with his John Delaney tie to his left there. What do you think of this? I mean, he's taken a step down. He's never played in the Championship before, playing for a manager who's never played in the Championship either. Doesn't know much about it. It's a bit of a risk, this, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm in two minds about this one. I mean, companies signing a lot of very technically good guys. You can see the Burnley we saw under Sean Dyche. He's going to completely, gut that, isn't he? He's bringing in a lot of young lads from Man City. There was a really good left back, Maitson, I think his name was. He was with Coventry last season. I watch a lot of Championship, and he was excellent. He's after bringing him in from Chelsea on loan. So he's transforming the style of play, and he sees Cullen as part of that project. I think, playing in Anderlecht, playing against a lot of internationals in the Belgian league who progress to big clubs. I mean, the Belgian Pro League is one of the best leagues for exports, isn't it? In terms of players going to huge clubs and going to massive teams and so on, and big leagues. But as I said, the Championship's a huge league as well. It's going to suit his game. He's very experienced there. He did very well there for Charlton, didn't he? And I don't know. Like, I'm really in two minds. I think the Burnley we saw the last 5-6 years. Josh Cullen is not going to that Burnley. He's going to Vincent Kompany's Burnley. But
that can go the other way as well, though, can't it? When you've got a team, because he's been there for what?
Yeah.
Such a long time, Sean Dyche. That culture, it's steeped in the Dyche culture. You've seen it when a manager's gone in, a foreign manager has gone in. Happened at Crystal Palace, didn't it? With the board, he went in there, he tried to change it around, and they were getting torn apart.
Jaap Stam as well, going to Reading. And, I mean, the Championship is a very physical league, and there is. I'm not saying there's not technically good players there, but it is very different to what Kompany would have experienced. And I don't know. Look, I'm really in two minds about it. I think he should have done another season with Anderlecht. You don't know with the new manager coming in, not that he wasn't in his plans, but is he going to play a similar way to Kompany? Would he get the best out of Cullen? Would he nurture Cullen the same way the Kompany did? I don't know. Look, we'll see how we get on. I think Burnley will be strong this season, but I think he should have stuck with Anderlecht for at least another season.
Yeah, no, I agree there too. We'll move on. Speaking of Reading, actually, you just mentioned him there. Shane Long has gone back to where it all began for him in England. He's gone there probably to finish off his career. Was it 1-year contract? He went there.
Yeah,
1-year contract.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, look, he's not, it's. I like that. I don't mind that. That's where he made his name. I like it going back home in a way for him. I think he'll still have something to offer. Probably something he wanted to do as well. Go back to the team that kind of made him in England. He's alongside Jeffrey as well, isn't he? Your pal,
Jeffrey. Yeah, let's have a look. Actually,
Jeffrey scored.
He did score. So here he is, signed. Would like to have security services experienced midfielder. Experienced midfield man, not a midfielder, but a midfield man. With that
hair, I wouldn't know.
Is that why they had to say midfield man? Just in case someone got confused. No, I'm only joking. I wish I had a head of hair like Jeffrey, and I actually do mean that, by the way. But here's an interesting one, and he did score. And this is from the 72. We love the hashtag EFL. Jeff Hendrick scored for Reading 109 minutes after signing for them. Is this a record? Probably in George Weah territory there. Do you remember him against Chelsea when he literally was flown in, put onto the bench, and came on and scored with his first touch? But yeah, no, fair play to Jeffrey. I wonder how long before
if that is a record. If that is a record, it's probably the highlight of his career after hitting the post against Sweden.
Do not, and we'll talk about this later on, do not underestimate that impact against the crossbar. That is one of Ireland's greatest moments right there. Speaking of one of Ireland's greatest moments, your pal here, Kieran Clark, without the...
There he is.
Of course, there he is. Very Irish looking, actually, when you see him there with the freckles. Lovely fella, actually, by the looks of it. He's signed for Sheffield United in the Championship. He's still not going to be playing for Ireland, Nick. Sorry.
No. He's too slow. Look, he's too slow. The only benefit is that he's left-footed. He probably give a bit of balance. He's too slow. He's not able for international football anymore. Look, John Egan will be playing him beside him. I'd say he got a glowing review. I'd say Egan gave him a glowing review. When he was going in there. No, look, he's done. I think there was something there in the papers a few weeks ago that apparently he trained with the 23s and with the first team in Newcastle, and they were just singing his praises for his professionalism. He's a leader. Like, he's captained Ireland, hasn't he? He's captained Villa. He's captained Newcastle. Captained the England under 21s. He's a leader. He's a good lad. He's a good attitude. He might be phasing out a bit, but if someone like Aaron Connolly had half the attitude that Kieran Clark would, he'd be doing very well. So it's hopefully he gets a bit of game time. But no, he won't be playing for Ireland. I don't think he's able for it anymore.
Well, one player certainly won't be playing for Ireland. Aaron McAniff will leave Hearts to join Australian club Perth Glory. You weren't very happy about this, Nick. You brought this to my attention. What was he said? He said he had no ambition.
Well, I was looking at a few threads from Hearts fans, and they're really disappointed to see him go because they feel that he didn't really get a fair twist. They kind of said he's the kind of box-to-box midfielder that they would have wanted. I've seen him up close a few times for Derry and Rovers. Not that I'm endorsing Rovers fans, but he's an excellent player. Like, he's very technically good. Got called into a couple of Ireland squads, and I kind of thought he'd push on. And when he went to Hearts, I kind of thought, well, if he gets games and if he gets things ticking, he might be pushing for a spot. Like, he's an excellent player, but going to Australia, I mean, look, it's probably a lifestyle thing, but like, that rules him out of Ireland altogether. He's not going to play for Ireland now. And I'm not saying he was knocking on the door recently, but I really thought if he did get a bit of consistency behind him, he would have added something a lot different. But no, it's not going to happen now.
Well, one man who's definitely happy he's gone, Graham Farrell. Aaron McAnuff, Jambo bastard. Hashtag Hybes. Oh, Jesus. Heavies. Also, Gray mentioned about Josh Cullen. I think it's a weird one. Could have stayed at Anderlecht and played Europe and in the top flight. Now he's going to a club that's going to be in transition. How long does Company get if things go wrong? Yeah,
good point about the European football. Yeah.
Yep. No, absolutely. And also says they love to have any Irish players to succeed. Would be great to see him banging them in Serie B. This is Aaron Connolly, but just never seems to happen. No, if only he had the same scoring touch on the pitch as he does. Never mind. We'll certainly be getting into trouble here. Keep going with the old transfers. Liam Kerrigan, there he is. He's at Como. Good lad. Is he the one that's going to be playing with Cesc Fabregas?
Yeah. That's the one, yeah.
He teach Cesc a thing or two there, won't he? No,
he scored. He scored yesterday, actually. In the preseason game, he scored already, yeah.
Mental. Cesc didn't do that, did he? Doesn't matter if he didn't play. And more League of Ireland, Dawson Devoy, done deal, MK Dons. Tell you what, I might actually find myself cheering for these lads. I'm normally a bit of an AFC Wimbledon man, but man of Irish players. Well, they used to work across the road from the old stadium. Man of Irish players at MK Dons there in League One, so best luck to those guys there. Just to talk about some of the rumours now. So that's all unless something's happened whilst we're on, that's all the completed transfers. But one of the rumours here, you weren't happy about this one, Nick, with the Green Machine. From Irish Soccer News on Twitter. From what I saw on Twitter, Jason Knight played right back for Derby in a friendly today. Far too good for the role. Derby use him in. I mean, one of the most exciting young talents in midfield and has always played pretty well for Ireland in that role. And they play him at right back. Why?
Yeah, look, I worry about that because he's played right back for them before in the league. And like, he's played on the left wing, he's played centre mid, he's played as a number 10. All this moving around, like you look at, say, Ajax, don't they get everyone to play in every position? But a lot of that was kind of filling in gaps, wasn't it? It wasn't really to see how we got on in these positions. It was literally filling in gaps. Yeah, because Derby were so fucked, weren't they? So look, I don't get it. I mean, Conor Harahan's after going into the club as well, and I mean, he's probably going to be playing beside him, but he needs to get out of there. He needs to get out of Derby. People are saying he's going to go to the Premier League. I don't think he's quite there yet. I really don't think he's quite there yet. As good as he is,
another season in Championship, I think, will do him nice.
Yeah, he needs to move though. I mean, if they're playing him right back, look, it's pre-season and so on, but surely you can play a youth player in there and put Knight a bit further up. I think it's Liam Rosenior's gone in there as the manager. Like Rooney loved him. Rooney loved Knight. Like, he compared him to himself, didn't he? So, look, it's disappointing. Yeah, but look, time's ticking, and I actually think he's going to start the season in League One.
Yeah, I'd give the benefit of this. I think it could be a matter of your playing players in positions for the sake of it, conditioning them and stuff. You know, I think even years ago, Man United had Robbie Brady at left back, and I know he did evolve into that sometimes. But
John O'Shea goal.
You did. I was at that actually. But he, I think sometimes it is a matter of that, and I hope it's not as if he's trying to force a move or things like that, and then they're trying to mess around with him, going, "Well, we're just going to play you there and drive you out." I can't see it. So yeah, I'm hoping it's nothing more into it, and I think he will get the move, hopefully, because I think he deserves it.
Craig Farrell's just they really loved Knight, then injured him training.
Very true.
Yeah.
That's the thing with Knight though. Like, we have to measure our expectations, because it's good us being Irish looking at him and saying, look, he should be going to the Premier League, but look at all the midfielders that teams are signing, and he's still not quite at that standard. Like, he's an excellent player. I think in the next 5 or 6 years he will be in the Premier League, but at the moment he could end up saying it. He's going to start the season at Derby. Whether he gets a move late to the Championship, I think Burnley were looking at him. I don't know. I think he could end up at like a Middlesbrough, someone like that. I think like a Premier or a Championship team that's building a bit. But no, I can't see him going to the Premier League. If he does, it'd be great.
It would actually suit like a Burnley, I think. I think one of the key things with even Josh Cullen's move and even Collins, you could argue, to not go into that top 6 team and go into a team where he's actually going to play is they are trying to qualify now for the Euro 2024. Stephen Kenny has said they need to be playing more, and if you want to be in Stephen Kenny's team, you've got to be playing. It's no more of that Robbie can go off and train and play with bit part games and still be in the squad and first name on the sheet. These players now have to be playing and for match sharpness. Surely they've been saying that because that's where we've struggled in the campaigns recently in our Nations League games. We've been too sluggish. They've not been playing enough football. They're not match sharp. So I think it's really important that they are going into games, into these qualifiers for us where they've got the game time underneath them. So their moves are so important now.
Do you know who is playing? And it's probably playing his way into Stephen Kenny's plans right now.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. They're call for the man. He once got a pizza for a fan of the
Connor Salmon. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I would have fucking loved a pizza. Love a pizza right now, actually, but that's because I'm a fan bastard. Anyway, moving on there, lads. Speaking of the Premier League, Championship side Coventry is set to win the race for Crystal Palace left back Tayo Adamola, who's 18. On loan. I'm not sure that hasn't been completed yet or whatnot. Nick, you're being raving about this guy I watched him play for, and he is style in a glass.
Yeah, he's excellent. Yeah, I watched him for the 21s there a couple of months ago, and he's very solid. He's very, very athletic. I haven't seen him play for Palace. I didn't see the Liverpool game, so I'm not sure how we got on there. But yeah, I mean, look, it's a position that we haven't really produced for about 15 or 16 years, have we? So yeah, he needs a bit of game time. He's still very young. I mean, he's only 18, so even alone at 18 is still very raw. So yeah, we'll be patient with him and hopefully he kicks on. But I think Patrick Vieira is a big fan of him.
Nice to hear. And did you enjoy the little win over Liverpool? Did you?
Oh yeah,
little 4-0.
Yeah, they all count.
Get
got a trophy
for it. Yeah,
entertaining match that. Yeah, it was
nice. At least you get one. That's your season over with now, isn't it? Really. Solid. Got it. And your mate here, Nick, Sean McGilly reports on Twitter. Understand Blackpool have lodged a second bid of £200,000 for Shamrock Rovers fullback Andy Lyons. First bid of 100k rejected when informal discussions over an acceptable value having taken place. He's out in Bulgaria ahead of Rovers European Champions League qualifier versus Ludogorets on Tuesday. 200 grand. That's a decent bit of lettuce, that is. Yeah, trendy.
Fair price. I don't know what they're giving out. That's all he's worth.
That is fucking hell. Spot the Bows fan here, Jesus.
As a Bows fan though, that's all he's worth. I don't understand this. People saying, "Oh, it's only a snip from." No, like he's like lying. Well, look, he's been very good for Rovers this season, but he's massive inconsistencies in his game. He's struggling in the Championship lines.
Well, hopefully we'll find out. Just wondering, lads, that does say 200k, not 20k, yeah? Because I made that mistake a few weeks ago. Got fucking slaughtered for it. Graham Farr, did you see that Yokelty one? Oh, did you win a little trophy as well, lads? Did you?
It was a fan or something, yeah. It was like a fan in the trophy. You could probably deal with that today, lads.
Well, you could probably do with a few fans, actually, at the moment, the way things are going at United. Just thought I'd get that in there. All right, lads, I think that's... Oh, and there's another one as well, isn't there? Rumour has it, couldn't find it anywhere, Colin Robinson could be linked with Preston. So another one to the graveyard of Irish football.
I don't know. I think he's just a kind of type of player who could be... I think you've also forgot James Collins moved from Cardiff to...
Derby.
Marcus Harness moved as well, Nick.
Ipswich. Went to Ipswich, yeah.
These are guys on the periphery, of course. But, I think Callum Robinson's an interesting one that, he needs to be getting game time as well now as well. And I think he's quite unpopular at West Brom for some reason. They can't see it that he does anything and he probably plays better for us than he does certainly his profile's raised when he plays for us rather than the others. And I think it won't be a bad move if he goes to Preston. I think, he offers a lot than need from the left and right. But I know it is. It's going to make our job easier tracking these players. We'll be able to see more of them playing.
Preston and MK Dons, really.
Yeah. So
actually also did you guys catch Gavin Zunu's save for Southampton the other day?
Yeah, brilliant.
Brilliant.
Let's have a look at it. Do a bit of commentary here. Look at that. Got a lovely little angle coming up here. Look at that. Fingertip. That is a Gavin Zunu special. It was actually 0-0. They lost 3-1 in the end, but it was actually 0-0 when he went off at half-time, so don't blame Gavin for that. And your mate here, Nick, James McLean, look at this for a cross. He also scored in this match as well. You see him in there.
It's a great ball.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Say this all the time, though. Like, his delivery is excellent. Like, he's such a good delivery. If he'd more to his game when he was younger, he would have been a really top player in the Premier League, because he just his delivery is outrageous.
Yeah.
Anywhere from the pitch, he can do that, though. He just can't do the basics.
No, but he's good. We love James. Don't be giving out about James.
No, he's been brilliant the last couple of years.
He has been good for Ireland. I think Stephen Kenny's really helped him there. Right, lads, let's move on to the social media watch. Lovely little graphic there. Yes, if I say so myself. Now, something I haven't put this, you guys are unaware about this, but I found a very touching story on Twitter, actually, and I wanted to share it with you and the footballing world out there. That a young lad here, inspired by Shirts in the Shed, and here is Brendan Waterworth. After seeing at Shirts in the Shed, Charity Shop Gems, I was delighted to find this in the NCBI shop in Mallow. It's not absolutely lovely. That's not a lovely shirt there, lads, isn't it? Obviously, the 7's a bit faded and a whole lot. However, it was lovely until the Sure Police showed up. And is Jonathan Courtney. That is a counterfeit shirt, Brendan. What's going on, Brendan? Wasn't fucking having any of that, was he?
Now,
that was him ahead in.
Jesus.
And now it continues. It continues.
Oh,
right?
Wow.
So Brendan Waterworth goes, possibly so. Though, in fairness, the quality is better than some of the genuine ones I have. Now, hold on, I'll play the music again. And of course, fucking Jonathan Courtney wasn't having any of that shit. And this is what he responds with. It's an article about human trafficking and the true cost of fake shirts. I think it's fair to say, lads, that John Courtney does not take a joke very well. Jesus. But I'm surprised, though, John didn't share any of these articles with Brendan.
Just read them out there, Dave.
Yep, Independent. Graham Kelly, sweatshop shames the sportswear giants. Umbro, long-time suppliers of kit to the Football Association and Ireland. And Adidas sponsored David Beckham are among sportswear companies that have been targeted by Oxfam for poor conditions prevailing in the factories with their goods and manufactured. In a recent report entitled Play Fair at the Olympics. And that's from 2004. And then, of course, another one here. Independent. Blood, sweat, and tears. The truth about your sport, how your sportswear is made. So there you go. Good old John, eh? The Sure Police going on in there. Started. I'm probably going to get blocked by him as well, to be fair. We'll be blocked. Just you.
Sorry to jump in there, Dave, but obviously a kick on error there a couple of weeks ago. We were speaking about fakes. And we Paul Behan on who organised it on the show kind of the Monday before, and he kind of said he wasn't giving fakes the okay by any means, but he was saying that there possibly is a place for them because not everyone can afford a shirt, and the reason that fakes are on the rise is because shirts are so expensive. So it's pushing people into this corner now. It's wrong. It's anything counterfeit is wrong, isn't it? And it's illegal. But it's like anything when people are desperate for a shirt or people really want a shirt and there's a €35 option as opposed to a 80, €90 option, then they're going to go for that. So they need to keep that in mind.
Martin very quiet there in the whole counterfeit shirt discussion.
No. Big supporter of the genuine articles, as you know.
Yeah.
But
that wasn't what somebody said though about that.
No. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
O'Neill's apparently.
Yeah, exactly. O'Neill's is our club shop. We couldn't get one through Umbro Ireland, but then again, I'm not surprised because you can't get an Ireland shirt in half the sports shops in Ireland.
Can you get one in the airport? Can you?
No, and that's a massive thing which Tourism Ireland should address. Actually, I might have to get onto them because I can't make my points to anyone because I'm blocked now, and I never saw that thread sadly because I'm blocked. But anyway, I'm still on the search for our listeners for the elusive light blue Bazunu goalkeeper save shirt against Ronaldo. I'd like to. Anyone can send me a photo of that being available in the shop.
Martin, we speak about this every week. You just weren't quick enough. They're like U2 tickets. They sold out. Good luck. Yeah. Sorry. But yeah, good typical Nick there, Martin. We're having a bit of crack about like fake shirts and then fucking the conscience, the moral compass of the podcast comes in there and starts making, fucking Lisa Simpson point about it.
But it is, no, I mean, it's interesting. You can see the on that shirt there that guy had brought and stuff, and like you do get incredible charity shop finds. That Shirts and Shed. Some people I know follow on Twitter who collect shirts. They find some amazing stuff, and it's nice when you get a gem. To be honest, and I even got an interesting one. I'm not going to give away my story of where I got this stuff, but I went into a charity shop once and found a load of FAI, the old annuals like 1990, 91, 92. Brilliant, great find, to be honest. So if you collect that kind of stuff like I do, it's quite nice.
I love charity. I thought it was funny though. Like poor Brendan just like wanted to share a story. Oh, look at his jersey I got, and then he gets a fucking lecture.
Yeah. And then he didn't buy it. He didn't buy it from a charity shop.
And for charity as well.
It's not as if he bought it from a fucking website in China somewhere. Exactly. He found it in a charity shop, and he gets.
It's interesting though. Like on this shirts, like you see them on eBay popping up, don't you? These prototypes and stuff. I have no idea who's selling those. I mean, I know that some people do sell their collections, and there's some really rare stuff actually available. And have a follow of some of these accounts, and you'll get some good offers of some of these shirts for quite a bit of high money. And then I'd always suggest looking elsewhere as well for the same shirt because you can get it half the cost. Just because you're buying from an official supplier doesn't necessarily mean it's you can't get them elsewhere.
Are you listening?
And still genuine. Are
you listening now, Nick? you naughty boy. Graham Farrell, when I worked for O'Neill's, you could get Irish shirts and polos. Yes, you could. I remember they used to have their 4 stripes and their 2. Well, they had the 3 stripes O'Neill's back in the day.
O'Neill's website still sells the Ireland shirts now. The current ones as well. They do have I think they have a deal to do that.
Yeah. Shame we can't get one in Dublin Airport, but there you go. Speaking of Dublin Airport, I don't know what this has got to do with Dublin Airport, but fuck it, I needed a segue. Over the weekend, Ireland beat New Zealand by 10 points. That was pretty cool. I didn't really see much of it. Nick, you woke me up with it actually, saying, "Oh, look, it's half time and Ireland winning," which a great result.
It's like I was in the bed beside you, Dave, and I was like, "Where you go?"
If only, Nick, eh?
Yeah, you wish, baby.
Whispering sweet nothings in my ear about
Rugby,
low press.
Kieran Clark and Robbie Brady.
Yes, trying to convince me James McCarthy will play for Ireland again. But some got a great result, great thing. Ireland got a historical victory and a historical series win, not taking anything away from it. It's not a friendly game. I know people saying it's a friendly. It's not. It's a test. And these things. And Ireland are the number 1 ranked team in rugby at the moment, a year before a World Cup. Typical, but there you go. But some got a little bit carried away. Let's have a look. John Duggan from Off the Ball said it was the greatest day for Irish sports since beating Romania in 1990. And Ewan McKenna responded with replying to John Duggan's sport: Italy 94, Sonia 95, Netherlands 01, Germany 02, Harrington 07, 08, Egan 08, Bernard Dunn 09, Taylor 2012, McElroy 11, 12, 14, Lowry 19, McCarthy, Donovan, Harrington 2020, and that's before the tens upon tens of epic hurling and football championship games that stopped the country. Well, what do you make of that? It's a bit hyperbolic, isn't it, really? It's the greatest moment since Genoa 1990. Or do you agree?
Nick?
Yeah. Oh, it's certainly up there. It's certainly up there. And like, I mean, I
really
don't mention it. I don't mention much on this, but like, I'm a rugby fan as well as a football fan.
Jesus Christ, we got him with the jab and you the rugby
since Saturday morning. No, it's huge. It's
at least you're honest.
It's absolutely huge. Is it the greatest since Italia 19? No, I mean, look at the golfers there, like Harrington, Lowry as well. Like that's absolutely huge. We nearly had another one yesterday. We were very, very unlucky. So look, it's in the context of rugby, it's one of the hardest things to do in that sport. So look, it is massive, but does it compare to other things? I don't know, because of the nature of it. But yeah, it's up there. It has to be up there.
Well, somebody on the Twitter.
Sorry, actually, Jeff Hendrick in the post against Sweden. I don't know why.
That was my suggestion. Look,
don't know why you McKenna didn't put that in.
I think someone's, as I said to John Duggan, I think someone is seriously underrating Jeff Hendrick's crossbar against Sweden at Euro 2016. Come on, it's fucking obvious. Somebody did put this up, actually. Bit controversial.
I was just brilliant.
Are you taking the piss?
Hey, was she?
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, if you're listening on the audio podcast, I don't want to sound like an American comedian and explain the joke, but
she probably is. Who was Cian O'Connor? What was Cian O'Connor's horse? The 2004 Olympics.
Top. But yeah, that's a picture of Michelle Smith. For those of you listening on the audio version there, yeah, there's been a few. Well, now, to be fair, with the Olympics, it was the World Championships in 98 she lost out on, and it was alleged tampering. Alleged.
Yeah, look, I don't mind the rugby, to be honest. I think, though, in the context of this, it is just a test. I know it's against New Zealand, who are the best in the world, but they're it's never going to happen in a lifetime again, is what my rugby friends tell me. But and then everyone's talking about, we peaked now, and we're at the World Cup. The biggest thing will be surely when you do it on the world stage, and I think the 1990 World Cup, even though we didn't win it, it was our first one. Doing something amazing on the world stage for Ireland will always be the top thing for me. And in that context as well, I would also argue that Katie Taylor's 2012 boxing win is definitely up there. I mean, it's up there in my lifetime anyway, as one of the best things I've ever been at sporting-wise. I think if you can beat the best in the world, it's up there. I
think the Grand Slams
in the context of the big win, in the context of a big competition.
Yeah. The way to look at tests, lads, and like I know this isn't a rugby podcast, but like the way to look at tests is any of the big teams, especially New Zealand, you're planning 3 matches against them. It's a chess match, and the period in between each test game is huge because the planning changes, the tactics change. It's the kind of psychological side of it as well. So I understand that. Like, I mean, for me, like the Grand Slams, like 2008 and 15 was 15, wasn't it? It was 16. They're huge because they're on a more global stage. But when it comes to test matches against New Zealand, it's psychological warfare as well as physical warfare for 3 games, and it's the whole science and it's the whole background behind it all. And I mean, only 2 other teams have done it, so it just kind of shows the magnitude of the actual achievement. But rugby is very different to say football because there's only about 15 countries who are professional really, and then there's only about 10 who actually compete. So in the context of rugby, it's absolutely massive. It would be trying to think of what
in rugby, but crossbar, Nick. The crossbar, come on.
Yeah, the crossbar I said. Yeah.
There's a question here from long-time listener but first-time commenter, Harley Sutherland. What if Declan Rice chose Ireland?
Oh, Jesus.
Well, Harley, my fellow raw sex appeal enthusiast, how you doing? You're still a cunt, though, for asking that question.
Jesus. Oh, the C-bomb dropped in.
I do it every week, come on.
Oh, no, you do it every week. And I get in trouble.
He is, though.
Anyway, Declan Rice, we can't go to Declan Rice.
No, don't answer him. He's just acting a bollocks. He is, Harley. I do love him, though. He's a good friend of mine.
He could probably play for the Ireland rugby team, though, because he's not born in Ireland and you can qualify for that, can't you? as much
says the Englishman.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was.
I told you. What are you? You're naturalized. I told you that.
I am. I'm everything, really.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of Stephen Kenny or Paddy Kenny.
Paddy Kenny.
Yeah, but moving on. Continuing with the social media watch. Paddy Kenny has taken a very unusual step in his book tour. Here he is. Me in Newcastle this weekend on my stag do. The lads got me to take my book around and get people to sign it. Best caption wins. What does that remind me of, lads? I'm getting hold on.
That's it.
Yeah. Don't know. Don't know what it reminds me of. I can't find it. I can't get this off. Jesus Christ.
You can see how we lost 5-2 to Cyprus, can't you?
Yeah, he never played for Ireland again after that, did he?
Yeah, words with Stan. It's good actually in the book. It's actually in his book is what quite good. He talks about that.
I do want to read that book. Actually, it does look good. I did try to get him on for a podcast before I started doing this, and never got a response. Graham Farrell says the Irishman yesterday. Yes, Graham. Fist bump across the water there. And Val wishes us a good night. Sorry, Val, if Martin's language offended you, I do apologize. But we'll see you next week. Lads, we're coming to the end. It's that time of the show where I'm punch drunk because I'm probably suffering with heat exhaustion, but we have a little special this week back in the day. So guess what tomorrow is? As if you don't fucking know.
Tuesday.
Yes, it is Tuesday. Well done. What is so special about tomorrow?
Tuesday, 19th of July. I don't know.
Ice Age ended?
1990.
Holidays?
It was the year the Ice Age ended for Man United anyway. It's when a certain Mr. Roy Keane signed from Manchester United for a British record fee. Let's have a little clip here.
Manchester United are pleased to announce that we've finally signed Roy Keane this morning, and it is an English record transfer fee.
He could have smiled or unfolded his arms, couldn't he?
Professional. Coming into the Premier League
Professional.
Premier League winners there. Going to win a double in his first season. Brilliant.
How many times did he get arrested? With United? A few times, didn't he?
I don't know. Doesn't matter. On the celebration night, I don't really care about that. Yeah, look, wow, that was a massive move at the time. I remember that, and went on to do great things for Man United. Didn't end well, of course, but never does. No, it never does with most players, is it? To be honest, and yeah, look, what a brilliant player he ultimately was for United, and it's a shame if you think about he's probably one of the last kind of high-profile players we had moving for a transfer record. I know we've had Nathan Collins move for big money this week, but that was a British transfer record at the time and very high in demand. Interesting stories of that, how he was trying to get out of Forest and very loyal to them as well. Brian Clough at the time, but yeah, interesting how he stitched up Kenny Dalglish. No problem at all with me.
You fucking mank. Poor Kenny, eh? Class act. Well, Kenny had the last laugh in '95. We won't talk about after.
One title, Jesus.
It's the little things. It's the little victories, isn't it? Who said that, Martin? You should know. You read this book about 50 fucking times. Roy Keane said that.
All right.
Well, lads, we're going to wrap it up there. I am suffering with heat exhaustion. It's been a blast as always. Thank you for joining us. Thank you at home for watching us and inviting us onto your tablet, your mobile device, and watching us wherever you're watching us. You can, if you want to listen to the audio version of this and listen to my dulcet tones in all its glory, with no distractions for the other two, you can go on greenmachinepodcast.com where all our episodes are available, including a very special episode series, actually, This is the love child of Nick. Where is it? There it is. The 2002 20th anniversary of the World Cup, Ireland's participation in that. That is Nick's childhood in a nutshell right there. Isn't that right, Nick?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hook it to my veins. Hook it to my veins.
Yeah. Loads of stuff in there. We got comments from Mahon, the whole lot. We got watch alongs. It's really, really good. I do encourage you to give that a go. You can also give us a follow over on the Facebook page / the GM podcast. You can see there on Nick's picture at GM_pod. If you want to give us a follow there on Twitter. And if you don't already, give us a cheeky little follow over lansdownote.ie and tell me how great I am. Or just give me loads of abuse, which is what I seem to get all the time. Well, that's it, lads. We're out of time, and I'm out of patience with you two. And basically, we're going to do it again next week, same time, 9:15. Give us a share, give us a like, please. Do get on to your friends. We'll even send you a sticker. If you want a sticker, by the way, give us a shout. We'll send these out to you. We do have a link there somewhere. Or just send us a private message. You know what we're like. We're quite personable. Well, I am. I'm lovely. The other two aren't. I will actually get back to you after a few days anyway. But give us a shout there anyway if you want a sticker. You can plaster them all over the town and we'll deny everything about it if the council get in touch with us. Lads, thank you very much. We're going to leave it there and we will see you again next week.